Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Jamar back from Vegas Scents. Welcome back to the channel. And as the title suggests, in this video, I'm going to be going over 10 fragrances that, in my opinion, they give a really nice take on the note of vanilla. All right. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also leave a like and a comment below. And also, in regards to the previous video, the giveaway on that anyway, the giveaway has been closed. The winner has been found. And so I'll go ahead and leave on screen a picture of the winner being found there. I did use like a random YouTube comment picker to find the winner. So if you see your name on the screen there, go ahead and look through the comments. I did reach out to you and ask you for your email address. So definitely go ahead and reach back out to me. I will go ahead and leave that open for at least about 5 days. And if I don't get a response, then I'll go ahead and try to pick another winner. All right. So just to get straight into the video, like I said, this is to go over 10 fragrances that give different unique takes on the note of vanilla. Now typically vanilla is a note that is normally like a base note for most fragrances, if not at least a mid or heart note. You rarely, in my opinion, at least from what I've seen, you rarely sort of see vanilla scents that are like have top notes of vanilla, unless it's just purely a vanilla scent. So these all kind of do vanilla in a different sort of way. Now, the first fragrance that we're going to go over is After Effect by F.A. Paris. This is their interpretation of Initio's Initio Side Effect. And this particular fragrance is just a really sort of boozy and spicy take on vanilla. All right. So this has notes like rum, it has vanilla as well, but it also has tobacco in it as well, which gives this one a really nice sort of edge to it. And this is definitely a wintertime beast. So this is more on like the heavier side when it comes to, those sort of vanilla types of scents. This is definitely a heavier type of scent, and definitely one that, you'll want to go a little lighter on the trigger with. So this is definitely an instance where less may be more. Again, this one is After Effect by F.A. Paris. All right, so the next fragrance up, this is a clone of Armani Prive's Blue Turquoise. And this fragrance goes by the name of Prive Turquoise by Emper Perfumes. And so I did recently do a comparison video on the Prive Turquoise. And to my nose, Prive Turquoise is definitely very close to Armani Prive's Blue Turquoise. It definitely, in my opinion, is smoother and not as harsh in the opening. You don't get as much black pepper in the opening with the Prive Turquoise. The black pepper in Prive Turquoise is very realistic and it's very strong, so it's definitely a fragrance that can probably make some people sneeze, because that's how strong the black pepper comes off in that particular fragrance. But like I said, this is definitely a lighter take on vanilla. This is definitely more so kind of like a sort of fresh interpretation, or a fresh, or you could say like almost sort of aquatic type of take on a vanilla scent. So this is definitely one that, you can wear maybe in warmer weather and get away with it, and, not have it be too cloying. And this also, it has pretty good, performance and longevity on it as well. So definitely, if you like sort of salty, sweet, kind of aquatic types of scents, this is definitely one to check out. It is sort of a weird combination, but it smells really amazing in my opinion. And again, this one is Prive Turquoise by Emper Perfumes. All right, so the next fragrance up, this one, in my opinion, is like a really sort of grown and sexy type of, vanilla take, or a vanilla based scent anyway. This is Fragrance World's Vanilla So Sweet. And this is their interpretation of Guerlain's Spirituiste Double Vanille. So this particular fragrance, it opens up with, also it has like a black pepper, you know, opening note as well. So it does start off kind of spicy, but it's spicy and boozy at the same time. And it also has like a smokiness from incense as well. So this one definitely, it starts off, you know, again, with a different sort of take on like a vanilla sort of sweeter type of fragrance. And then pretty much as this one dries down, that vanilla note starts to come out. And it is like a really sort of close to your skin, sort of intimate type of scent. But like I said, it's a really, really sort of sexy, you know, mature take on, you know, a vanilla scent. It's not like mature in like an old person's type of way. I wouldn't say that. This is definitely a fragrance that I think anybody could wear, any age really. But it's just a more sort of grown up, mature type of take on a vanilla scent. And in my opinion, this one is definitely, it's a very unisex sort of vanilla scent. So, you know, some vanilla scents can sort of lean feminine. You know, I would say in a lot of cases, probably a lot of people do sort of associate vanilla, you know, the note of vanilla with sort of, you know, feminine types of scents. This, in my opinion, is not one of those types of scents. I think, again, this is definitely a really unisex fragrance. And this one smells amazing, in my opinion. This one, again, is Fragrance World's Vanilla So Sweet. All right, so next fragrance up, this again is another really sort of grown and sexy take on vanilla, in my opinion. Definitely more kind of on the mature side. So I would say probably 25 and up. And this is a clone of YSL's Baby Cat. This is Paris Corner's Rifaaqat. All right, so Rifaaqat, this one definitely, it has more of an emphasis, in my opinion, on vanilla than what YSL's Baby Cat does, especially in the dry down. But this one pretty much, it opens up like, you know, spicy with the black and pink pepper, as well as almost kind of like a smokiness to it. I kind of get like a sort of incense sort of smokiness from this particular fragrance when it first opens up. In my opinion, it's definitely a little bit more smokier than what YSL's Baby Cat is. So at least in the opening for this one, it does sort of smell, I guess you could say, a little bit more masculine than what YSL's Baby Cat does. And then in the dry down, to me, Rifaaqat, it turns a little bit more sweeter. So, you know, I guess maybe you could say it does become a little bit more feminine in the dry down. But either way, in my opinion, this is still a perfectly unisex type of scent. And in my opinion, this is definitely, it's one of the better interpretations of YSL Baby Cat. Not 100%, like I said, it's at least about 85% or so. You know, what I mentioned in the previous video when I compared these. But in my opinion, for the price that you pay for this one, which is like around $40 on the Aroma Concepts website, I think this one is definitely a really good deal. All right, so again, that one is Rifaaqat by Paris Corner. All right, so the next fragrance up, this one is sticking with the house of Paris Corner. This is from the Paris Corner Emir line, and this is a clone of Dior's Fave Delicios. This is Frenetic Delicios. All right, and so Frenetic Delicios is definitely one of the most, I would say, one of the most enjoyable sort of gourmand fragrances that I've smelled. This is definitely, it's got like a lot of different layers to it. It's very complex, in my opinion, as like a sort of gourmand scent. It has top notes of like lavender, mint, bergamot, and then in the heart or the mid, it has a really nice sour cherry note. And then in the actual base of this particular fragrance, it has a lot going on. This has tonka bean, it has vanilla, it has cacao, caramel, praline, benzoin, milk, sandalwood, leather, cedar. I mean, this has a lot going on in the base. But at the end of the day, this definitely it's another really great take on, you know, vanilla. Vanilla obviously isn't the only sort of note that you get from this particular fragrance, but in my opinion, this is, you know, I would consider this a vanilla scent for sure. I think most gourmand scents, they do have the note of vanilla in them. So I mean, again, you won't only get vanilla from this one, but in my opinion, it's a really nice sort of gourmand vanilla slash tonka bean slash sour cherry type of scent. All right. And also this is very close to the original, almost identical in my opinion. So definitely if you've been looking for Fave Delicios and obviously, you know, you can't really find it because it's been discontinued, I think this is definitely a great alternative. All right. So again, this is Paris Corner Emir's Frenetic Delicios. All right, so this fragrance, I'm pretty sure everyone watching this video has at least heard of this particular fragrance. And most of you probably either own this fragrance or you've, you know, owned a clone of it at least. And this is from the house of Parfums de Marley. This is Parfums de Marley's Layton. All right. So Parfums de Marley Layton, this is pretty much a sort of apple, lavender and, you know, kind of vanilla type of scent. That's, you know, the main things that I get from Parfums de Marley Layton. It definitely, it becomes more sort of vanillic once you start to get into the dry down. And the dry down is where the vanilla starts to come out, as well as, you know, notes like cardamom and almost I don't know if, you know, the note of cinnamon is actually listed for this particular fragrance note wise, but I feel like I do sort of get like a sort of cinnamon spice from this one. So that's why this particular fragrance is very, very good for like the, you know, the fall and winter. So this, again, in my opinion, is one of the best sort of, you know, takes on vanilla when it comes to like a fragrance that's marketed for men. All right. So if you haven't checked this one out, or if you haven't smelled any sort of interpretation of, you know, Parfums de Marley Layton, I would definitely check this out, you know, especially if you're a man that, you know, wants maybe a more sort of kind of sweeter, sexier, darker type of scent for like the cooler weather that's, you know, pretty mass appealing. This one I think will definitely do the job. Again, that is Parfums de Marley's Layton. And so the next fragrance up, this is pretty much, this has been like the hype beast of 2022 and even 2023, you could say. This is from the house of Lataffa, and this fragrance is Lataffa's Camera. All right. So this fragrance, it got a lot of hype because it was being marketed or kind of pushed by people on YouTube as being like a By Kilian's Angel Share clone. And while it does definitely have the same sort of DNA, this is not at all a clone of Angel Share. I would say this is more so like a inspiration or sort of like a twist or spin-off of you know, Angel Share. In my opinion, this is definitely a lot more thicker than Angel Share. It is definitely, in my opinion, boozier, you know, at least in the opening. And it, to me anyway, at least on my skin, it definitely projects a lot louder than what Angel Share does. It has very, very, very good longevity, like, you know, at least 10 plus hours, at least on me. And this is, the main difference is you get this sort of dates sweetness from this particular fragrance. So this has dates. It does have vanilla in it, obviously. And it has, you know, that same sort of praline note that Angel Share has. But in my opinion, Angel Share is definitely a lot lighter. It does, you know, project pretty well, is, you know, also, but it's more of a lighter type of scent. It's not as thick as what Khamarah is. and it has a different type of sweetness to it. I think the date note in this particular fragrance makes this a lot more sweeter and thicker than what, the Angel Share is. It just makes it a completely different fragrance in my opinion. But this is also one of the better sort of gourmand types of fragrances out there that uses the note of vanilla. And this one, again, is perfect for the cooler weather. This is Lataffa's Camera. All right, so this next fragrance is, I would say, definitely, it's a lot less well known in my opinion than some of the other clones for the same particular scent DNA. And this is a clone of YSL's Tuxedo, and this is Fragrance World's Suits. So to my nose, Fragrance World Suits, especially in the dry down, is pretty much identical to YSL's Tuxedo. And this lasts longer than Tuxedo and any other clone of Tuxedo that I've smelled. So the other clone that most people know about is Maison Alhambra's The Tux. So you have Maison Alhambra's The Tux, you have Maison Alhambra's, I think it's Kismet Angel, or no, not Kismet Angel, I think Kismet for Men is the other YSL Tuxedo clone. And definitely the Kismet for Men, that one definitely turns a lot more sort of vanillic. So that one, out of these three clones anyway, I would say that one definitely, it kind of departs from the, original sort of scent DNA the most. And then you do have Maison Alhambra The Tux, which does, it does try to stick to that YSL Tuxedo DNA the most, or not the most, it does try to stick to it. But in my opinion, it kind of loses things when it comes to like that, how it interprets that patchouli note. So this, in my opinion, it comes the closest to YSL Tuxedo. And in the sort of, dry down of Tuxedo, you do sort of get like a kind of spicy, vanilla note that comes out. Spicy, sweet vanilla note mixed with that sort of patchouli and woody base that Tuxedo has. So again, this is definitely a sort of gentlemanly, mature sort of take on, that vanilla note in a scent. And I absolutely think that this is one of the best sort of scent DNAs that's come out, in fragrances in a while. And this definitely captures that, in my opinion, as well as the original does. So again, this is Fragrance World's Suits. Our next fragrance up, this is a clone of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. This is from Maison Alhambra, and this is Lovely Cherry. So Lovely Cherry, I did a video on this a couple of months ago, and in my opinion, this was definitely like at least 95+% close to Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. And pretty much with this one, this is sort of like a boozy, bitter almond scent in the opening. You get that, sour cherry and black cherry with this particular fragrance. And then in the dry down, you get like this combination of, sort of like a sweet vanilla, tonka bean. It starts to turn a bit spicy and woody as well in the dry down. And at least with this version, the Maison Alhambra version, you get pretty decent performance out of this one. So I'd normally get about 7 to 8 hours or so of longevity out of the Lovely Cherry. And again, even though this is a cherry based scent, like I said, in the dry down, it does start to come, it does start to become a little bit more vanillic. And that cherry definitely, it starts to mix with, that vanilla and tonka bean as well. So again, this one is Lovely Cherry, and that's by Maison Alhambra. And the last fragrance that we have here, this is more so kind of like a fruit cocktail, or, extremely fruity take on vanilla. This one is a clone of Xerjoff's Herba Pura, and this is Ana Abiyedh, All right, and this is the I Am White edition. And so pretty much this, simply put, is like a really fruity, musky vanilla scent, pretty much. Like I said, you get like a lot of fruits for this particular fragrance in the opening. You get fruity notes, you get like a sort of orange, bergamot, and lemon combination, you know, in the opening spray. But like I said, once this starts to dry down, it definitely starts to become more of sort of like this musky sort of vanilla type of scent. And that definitely, it adds to like the strength of, you know, how strong this particular fragrance is. I do think that this is probably a fragrance that you could almost sort of wear year round. I wouldn't necessarily wear this in like, you know, the highest heat of the summer, because it is really dense. So I mean, it comes across as being like a sort of light, airy type of scent, but this is extremely dense. It has like, you know, monstrous sillage. It pretty much has eternal longevity. And this is definitely one that you can choke people out with. So, I mean, I don't even know if I would recommend wearing maybe one spray of this in the summertime. Maybe like, you know, a half spray or a quarter spray or something like that, and you're probably good. But this is definitely, in my opinion, more so for like the spring months, definitely the fall. And in my opinion, you know, this is definitely a scent that has enough strength for you to wear in the winter time. If you want more so kind of like a fruitier, fresher smelling scent that has, you know, like a really strong base to it and really good performance. All right. So again, this one is Lataffa's Ana Abiyedh. All right, so let me know what you thought of the list there. Definitely let me know if you own these particular fragrances. Do you like these fragrances? When do you wear them? And also, again, please comment on the video, leave a like, also subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and please share the video if you found the information helpful. And once again, that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see you on the next video.